Welcome, everybody, to another episode of HBCU Huddle. I am CJ Hurt. Follow me on Twitter at ConRadicalness. Follow me on Instagram at @new_ConRadicalness. Please be joined, as always, by Ronnie. Catch her on Twitter at Ronnie2K. What up, Ronnie?
Yo, what's happening? New hairstyle, new me. You know what's going on.
With the glasses, I see you, girl. Mike is not here, but Mike is here. He's not here with us,
No, not
but
physically.
he is here on this show. Mike, what's good, man? Where you at?
Hey, Minnesota, man, Minneapolis, man. I'm on this road trip with the Grizzlies, but at the end of the day, man, I couldn't pass up a chance to be on this show, our final football show of the season. It's been a great season, and new Ronnie 2K already ready for 2026.
Absolutely. Follow him on Twitter at MyMikeCheck. We got a great show, as always, for you. We got a tremendous pick six. We're going to take a look at the final media poll. We're going to take a look at my final ballot. There's some coaching news, big transfer news as well to get to. We got all of that plus more. But let's get things started with that Celebration Bowl. The Celebration Bowl was a wild one, wasn't it, Ronnie?
It was four overtimes. And was it really a TD? Was it really?
Well, Mike,
We're going to get into it.
Mike, you think it was a touchdown?
You know what? I didn't see it live. I did see the replay. I thought it was a touchdown. It was close enough. And I think they were going to score regardless in that situation. But, yeah, I'll go ahead and give it a touchdown because, again, it was just a remarkable way. And South Carolina State had all the momentum at that point. So, yeah, I call it a touchdown.
That looks like it's across the pylon to me.
It looked like it's on the right side and he's out of bounds.
He can do that. As long
So
as the
it's
ball-
in the so
his
so
foot
that's
is
true.
in. His foot
it's
is
in the
in.
infinity line.
His foot is in.
So the infinity line is
Yep.
true.
Yep.
So
And
that goes
here's
from
the thing.
NFL all the way down to collegiate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did not know
Yeah,
that.
here's the thing, too. Based on that shot that we saw right there, had he just simply dropped the ball down in his hand and grabbed the pot or touched the pylon, it would have been a touchdown, right? So if he would have knocked over the pylon with the ball in that same frame, it would have been a touchdown. So that's why I give it the benefit of the doubt.
Because here's what Coach Willie Simmons, former FAMU head coach, had to say. Current Florida International coach had to say about the play. He tweeted this out, quote, "Let me clarify the touchdown rule for everyone who watched the Celebration Bowl today. The end zone does not stop at the pylon. The end zone is an infinite line, and as long as the ball crosses that imaginary plane at any point before a body part touches, it is a touchdown." So it was indeed a touchdown. Proud of both teams, as it was a hard-fought game. Congratulations to South Carolina State head coach Chanis Berry. It was indeed a classic. So that's what Coach Simmons has to say about it. Now, if you're Prairie View A&M, you're gonna scream it wasn't a touchdown.
I'd be pissed. I would be pissed. But they gave up a 21-0 lead. They were up 21-0. I texted group chat 21-0 halftime.
Yeah.
South Carolina came out third quarter going crazy.
21-0 at halftime was the Panthers' lead.
Yes.
They had outgained the Bulldogs 319-80. Mike, 319-80 up 21-0. You're not supposed to lose that game.
Nah.
You're not.
Nah.
And then it all shifts. Third quarter, there is a trick play, and it results in a fumble. Prairie View A&M gets the ball, gets it down inside of the 10. Right there in the red zone. It's like, okay, not Prairie View A&M, excuse me. South Carolina State gets the ball right there inside of the 10, and then they get the touchdown. And boom, from there, they get that touchdown.
Momentum
Then they
changes.
score. Momentum change. They score on the next two possessions. So it's 3 straight possessions with touchdowns. And boom, now we got ourselves a 21-21 football game. And Prairie View A&M just was not able to recover from that point on. Mike, what do you think about the overtime rules? We've talked about them before, but I think this was the first time this season that we got a chance to look at what ends up happening after you get to pass the second overtime. For those of you who don't know, it's regular overtime rules, regular by our understanding of it. You start at the 25 for both teams on offense through the first 2 overtimes, and then that third overtime, it becomes just, hey, you get one try to score from the 2-yard line. You get one try to convert a 2-point conversion. And that's what we do going back and forth, almost like a penalty kick sort of thing in football. Mike, what are your thoughts about that overtime rule?
You know, I think, and first and foremost, let me say this. I watched the first half. Like, I was watching the first half of that game. So when Prairie View took that 21-0 lead at halftime,
Out.
I
We're
was
good.
Yeah, I was in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Shout out to my stepson Kendall Lewis for his graduation with his
Hey,
bachelor's
Kendall.
degree. I was at his graduation, and at halftime we left to go to the actual arena where the graduation was. So I was following on my device from there. To answer your question though, man, like they need to just go ahead and adopt the NFL policy when it comes to overtime. Just play out the quarter. I think if you're the NFL team and each team is guaranteed at least one possession, play it like it's a natural football game. Because the way that they're doing it in college right now, and they've always done it, it becomes basically a scrimmage drill where you're not really playing football. You're just playing situational football. And I don't like that. Just play a quarter, give it a 15-minute quarter, have each team have at least one possession. If the team scores first, a second team gets a chance to match that score and they continue to play. If they don't match it with a touchdown or whatever it needs to do, then it's decided. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I understand that, and I will agree to that. We got to be okay with ties, and we just are not, for whatever reason, okay with ties in anything.
But a
Not in the
celebration bowl.
championship
I was
game.
just about to say in the
the
championship.
I'm talking about regular season
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
In the championship game, you just play. I'm with you. You don't got another game.
Yeah.
Football is such a physical sport.
Yeah.
That you don't want somebody, because what ended up changing this rule, if I remember correctly, was Texas A&M and Mississippi State going to like 11 overtimes or something ridiculous like
I was
that
just
a couple
about to
years
say,
ago.
what would be the cutoff for overtimes without the new rule of the 2-point conversion? What would you say should be the cutoff?
We just got to be okay with ties.
In a championship.
In a championship, no. You're okay with ties during the regular season because everybody's got games to play the
Right,
next week. Your
right.
body has got to rest.
Right.
You can't have dudes out there playing football for forever. But in a championship game, you don't got no more games next week. In the
We gonna go to the
championship
lights
game, they could be playing till today. All right, like I'm fine with that. If they, to Mike's point, if they
I don't
had
think the
had
refs would
played
be happy with that.
nah, get some more refs in there, right? Like to Mike's point, if you just play it out like it's regular football, because this is situational. Mike is right about that. And if we are 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours removed, hey, give everybody some orange slices and some juice. Give them a mini sort of like halftime period and come right back out and keep going, man. I am fine with that.
As PV head coach, what do you say after the game? After losing a 21-0 lead, what do you say to your players? Like this is the ending, like this is the end of the season.
I mean, I think he should take most of the blame.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like, you come in, my fault, guys. I could have called it differently. We were up 21-0. Could have called it differently. Could have done things that maybe that trick play in that moment wasn't the best sort of thing to do in that moment. Also, this was really, really strange. They got the ball, so I'm trying to remember. I can't remember who scored for South Carolina State right off of the 2-minute warning. So the 2-minute timeout, excuse me, not warning, it's one in the NFL. It's timeout in college. So two-minute timeout happens. South Carolina State has the ball. The very next play, South Carolina State goes down and gets the touchdown. And all right, cool, here we go. Prairie View A&M gets the ball. On the ensuing kickoff, it's tied up. The ball goes out of bounds. Prairie View A&M then gets the ball at the 35. So you're in business. You're at the 35 already. All right, let's go. And for whatever reason, they just run the football. If I remember correctly, they had their full allotment of timeouts. They don't call any timeouts. They don't put any pressure on that South Carolina State defense. They played for overtime in that moment. And that's where I think Coach Jackson messed up. One of the areas I think he messed up. I think that's the biggest area.
You think he should have went to try and score?
Yeah. You got
the time, the timeouts.
If you've got 3 timeouts, and at the time, again, I think he had all 3 timeouts, and you've got about a minute 50, minute 45 to get downfield, and you start from your 35 to get in field goal range. Like, you gotta let that play. You gotta go out there and try and get that. So I think that's what you say to those players who aren't going to be here next year, the upperclassmen who are graduating, who've used up all their eligibility. Hey, nothing I can do can take away your chance at a championship. Put it on me, though. I apologize. Then with everybody else, this will never happen again.
Get to work.
Let's go. We got to turn the page. We got stuff to do.
We got to come back.
We got stuff to do, man. Yeah, I just thought that was an odd decision there. They were so close, but you dominated time of possession. You dominated. the yardage battle in the first half. You dominated on the scoreboard. For you to throw away a 21-point lead is like that's tough.
And Cameron Peters threw the mess out that ball. He threw, and they were catching it too. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, man.
I hate they took that L. I really do.
It was a good game. Cam Peters tried on that last play to get in there, but that stellar front for South Carolina State, and they did a great job covering in the secondary. Got him held up, gobbled up in the backfield for the sack ball game, man. It was viewed by an average of 2.3 million people. 12% increase on viewership from last year. It peaked at 3 million people. The Celebration Bowl strong performance came during a weekend that also featured the D1 FCS playoffs. The 3 FCS quarterfinal games across ABC and ESPN networks averaged 1.4 million viewers, which means that Celebration Bowl outdrew those games on average, providing a bit more context for the Celebration Bowl. That 2.3 million average audience won the quarterfinal. South Dakota and Montana, that drew 1.9. So that was the highest playoff drawing number. And the Celebration Bowl outdrew that by roughly 400,000 views. Going back to last year's 33 non-college football playoff bowl games, that's FBS, not FCS, FBS, they drew on average 2.7 million. So the Celebration Bowl, FCS, HBCU on HBCU, almost drew as much as the average for the 33 non-college football playoff bowl games last year. Mike, what does it say to you to see this type of growth in the Celebration Bowl?
It's phenomenal. That means there's an audience there, right? There's an audience there. There's an appetite for these games. And that's the reason why SWAC Commissioner Charles McClellan says these are the type of things that we want to do and set up for the postseason. I don't always agree with his rationale in terms of bypassing the FCS playoff route for HBCUs. But when you can say, listen, our primary championship game draws that kind of viewership and also pays out $1 million per team, I don't think you can, you can't argue against that. Those numbers speak for themselves. Now, adding a little bit of context to that, there is an amplifier to it. You know what I mean? The Celebration Bowl is on ABC. So it's on ABC and it's not up against any other games in the time slot. It starts at noon, or 11 a.m. Central on ABC, the main powerhouse network of ESPN. Those other games are primarily on ESPN or ESPN2. So there is an amplifier. There is some context to add to that. But having said that, the numbers are the numbers.
Yeah, even with the amplifier though, Mike, some of these other bowl games are on ABC also, and they might draw 3 mil, right? 4 mil. I think that this is good to see the Celebration Bowl continuing to grow, and you do as well. We all do, seeing it continue to grow, and hopefully one day we get like a mini sort of playoff. We had Donald Ware on the show last week, and he was like, well, the Celebration Bowl is for all practical purposes what we consider the Black College Football National Championship, but none of the D2 schools get to compete. So Albany State, Virginia Union, Benedict, those schools don't get to compete. And you got Hampton, you've got Tennessee State, you got North Carolina A&T, who also don't get to compete for this crown. If the numbers continue to look like this, 2 more games, right? You do a semifinal. So you say, okay, if you get to the SWAC championship game, so the SWAC West champion, the SWAC East champion play, and get to go to a semifinal game taking on, one would play the MEAC champion and the other one would play one of these at-larges from somewhere, with the winner going to the Celebration Bowl. I think these numbers show me that there may be some interest in that. Like there might be a market for that.
But does that mean that we can't play that Turkey Day Classic?
Well, then that becomes the issue, and that Mike has talked about this as well, right? Like what do we do with the Bayou, the Turkey Day, and some
those
of these other
they make a lot of money off those games. They make a lot of money off those games.
It can't be that hard to push this thing back a week, can it?
So not do week 0?
Listen,
is that what we?
Ronnie,
I know you're not a fan of week 0.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything about week 0, Mike, until next year's week 0. But listen, you got the idea, Ronnie. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it. After the game, everybody's caught up in the celebration. Celebration Bowl. Everybody's excited. South Carolina State's running around the field. They end up getting everybody into the locker room to celebrate, and Coach Chennis Berry gets on the stand to talk to the media. Before anybody gets to ask any questions, here's what Coach Berry had to say.
So, all through the season, we had those conference calls. Nobody wasn't asking me any questions. It was always directed to the 2 NFL guys. And I'll sit there and get 1 or 2 questions. And they get 20 or 30. So I'm going to say that. There's good football coaches that come through HBCU. We can coach because we had to get it out the mud. So I'm going to say that with a proud chest. There's a lot of really, really good football coaches. And again, I got great relationships with all of them, but I remember, I keep receipts, and that motivated me. Every day I go to my staff meeting, I say, hey, guess they didn't have a whole lot for me. Dr. Cavill always asks me a question, that's my guy. All right, but it's like 1 or 2, but everybody else want to talk about everything else. So we just fell in love with the process, and that motivates you, man. When somebody tell you no, when God be for you, man, who can be against you?
Okay, we're going to go ahead and release the players so they can go celebrate. Coach Berry, we're going to keep it.
They don't want to leave me. They love me. Leave my boys. Go celebrate, boy.
That's good stuff. Somebody ask Coach Berry a question next year, please.
Man, please. But listen, for a coach to speak with that much passion about not being notarized, like during these press conferences, I would love to play under a coach like that, who got that much fire and amp, like that tone in his voice, like that'll make me want to run through a brick wall, fam. So I see how they can outlast a 4 overtime in a Celebration Bowl. Coach Berry, listen, if you ever need to know how to
Mike, ask that man a question, dog. Next year, we got to get on there and ask him some questions, don't we?
Yeah, we got to get on there and ask them some questions, man. That's why you play these games. That's why you cover these games. You want that personality. You want that passion. And again, the main thing is, look, if he didn't go into halftime and make some adjustments, he wouldn't have been sitting up there with all that. But when it's my turn and I win and I have receipts, you're gonna hear about it, and you gotta love it. You gotta love that from him.
I thought he hit on a interesting point and a true point. I think he did a better job of conveying the message than what Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. did when he had that dust up with Coach Prime, the whole "you're not SWAC" component of it, where it is, hey, the coaches, it is a fraternity, especially at this level, at the HBCU level. It is a fraternity. Everybody sort of knows everybody is pulling for everybody to have moments of success. But when we get these big time names coming in, and Deion Sanders or Mike Vick or Deshaun Jackson, et cetera, coming in here, there is more coverage on them there than it is on some of these other guys who, I don't want to say other guys, other coaches who don't necessarily come with the accolades and the attention that those dudes had during their playing careers. And so I think that what he was trying to talk about, what he did talk about, was the fact that, hey, I'm successful.
Been successful.
I haven't lost a conference game in 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm back-to-back MEAC champions. You would think that people would be writing more and talking more about what we've got going on with our program, but all anybody wants to do is talk about and highlight what it means for HBCUs to have somebody like a Deshaun Jackson being successful and having somebody like a Mike Vick in the fold. And I can understand wanting to, after you win a championship, puff your chest out a little bit and say, hey,
that's a tough game. A tough game.
Also, and then we gotta get out of here and get to a break. Like, the players really wanted to go celebrate, but they were like, is Coach joking? I don't know if Coach is joking, but I'm gonna sit here. and
You
wait.
gotta let him talk. You gotta let him talk his business.
If you go back, their eyes, you can see the
Like
whites in their
looking.
eyes. They're like, okay, where's this going? All right, great. Thanks, Coach. Like, that's just such a fun moment to see a coach have with his players and the players to have with their coach. Great stuff from the Bulldogs. Congratulations to Coach Chennis Berry and all of South Carolina State on their Celebration Bowl win. We're going to take a look at the media polls on the other side right here on HBCU Huddle and the Built Ford Tough Studios on Grind City Media.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dome Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at natebargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dome Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
Welcome back in HBCU Huddle. Ronnie, Mike, CJ, Kyra, aka Black. Hey, help me out. We were trying to figure this out during the break, Mike. We hadn't done a Tony Braxton pick six, have we?
Ooh, no, not specifically Tony Braxton.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
All right, cool. So they come March 11th. So I'm gonna make sure to write that down.
I thought they said March 29th.
Kyra, when they come down? They come down sometime in March. March something.
It's like
Black,
28,
we know
29.
it's March something.
We got that part.
Figure out the date for me, and then so we make sure we get that in the pick six. So March 9th, I said right, March 19th. Didn't I say 19th?
Oh, that's my fault. I can't,
Nah.
you know, my numbers.
What did I
You
say?
said March 11th. Ronnie said March 29th. So y'all split
between
it.
it.
We got a
We was
meeting.
in there. We was between it.
Yeah.
So make sure we'll do a special Tony Braxton pick six sometime in March, maybe April. Love me some Tony Braxton.
Love Tony.
The Celebration Bowl ended. South Carolina State won it. So let's take a look at this year's final media poll. Before we do, here's my final ballot. Number one for me on my ballot is South Carolina State, followed by Prairie View A&M, Jackson State, and Alabama State. That rounds out my top four. Albany State is my top five. Mike, any issues with my top five?
No, man, no, I don't think any, especially with how close that Celebration Bowl finished. I don't think there's any question that either one, whoever won would have been one and whoever lost would have been number two based on the way it finished. And it flips out, 3-4. Obviously, Jackson State beat Alabama State, and Albany State was the best Division II team that we had. So I like that top five. That's as solid as it can get.
The issue that spent 30 minutes agonizing over just 2, 3, 4, because Prairie View A&M loses to Jackson State. who beat Alabama State, or excuse me, Prairie View A&M beats Jackson State, who beats Alabama State, who beat Prairie View A&M. And all of them were really close games.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, what do I do here? How do I go about figuring out the 3-team tiebreaker? I figured since Prairie View A&M is SWAC champion, they get to be 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then because Jackson State beat Alabama State, they get to be 3, and Alabama State is 4. Ronnie, you got any qualms with that?
Grambling should just drop down after they lost their last game. They should drop. Yeah. They really they lost to Southern. Southern only won 2 games this season.
I don't know how many
it's
they
about
won.
it's about 2 games this season.
I know they beat
they won
Valley.
2. Right.
Don't start, CJ. Do not start. But Grambling, with that loss to Southern, I don't even think they should be up there.
Got the loss to Southern. They got the win over Jackson State, Mike.
They did get the win over Jackson State, but then you go over there and he said fighting words.
Yeah, those will be fighting words normally, but Ronnie's right. I'm harder on my team than anybody needs to be, right? So, and the thing is, like I said before, that was the most cosmetic 8-4 record that you have, and because you didn't beat anybody of substance other than Jackson State, and you lost every single big moment that you had a chance to really solidify your season. So yeah, I would drop Grambling down a little bit.
So, for people listening who aren't seeing it, 6 is Delaware State, 7 is North Carolina Central, 8 is Grambling State, 9 is Johnson C. Smith, and 10 I got Bethune-Cookman in there at 10. We take a look at the media poll. This is the official media poll, box to roll. They start off South Carolina State 1 with 23 first place votes, Prairie View A&M 2, Jackson State 3, Alabama State is 4, Albany State is 5 with 1 first place vote.
Who did that?
Albany State had a really good season.
They did, but that means they wanted Albany State to be number 1, but they wasn't even a contender.
I mean, they got to what the quarters, semis of the D2 playoffs.
What that mean? Is we talking about the top 2 teams who plays?
But SEAC doesn't have a.
They don't.
They don't. And that goes back to adding 2 more games, where you can say, okay, we'll have SWAC East, SWAC West champ, the MEAC champ, and then we'll have a wild card team, an at-large team, so to speak.
Some got to give.
And so maybe you say, hey, Albany State, now would they want to do that instead of go to the D2 playoffs? I don't know. And then you just go on down the list. But that's the media top 5. Delaware State, the Fighting Blacks come in at number 6. Then we got North Carolina Central, Johnson C. Smith, Benedict, and Virginia Union rounding out the top 10. Mike, any issue with what the media did?
No issue with that. I like that. I can also see, Albany State getting that 1 first place, but there's always going to be somebody in the media who wants to ruffle some feathers. We saw that earlier this season when Alabama State holding on to first place in the box to roll, even though they had lost to Jackson State. So it's one of those things where somebody's going to make a statement with their vote, but I don't have any issue with that. I mean, Albany State lost to FAMU in a game they were leading in the first half going into the third quarter, and their only other loss was in the semifinals of the Division II playoffs. So I'm cool with it. It worked out the right way.
If we did a completely too early top 3,
who would we say?
Yeah. Now keep in mind, the portal is opening on January 2nd.
Oh God. This for next season.
Yeah, next season.
Oh,
we
God.
just did the early signing period. So the portals got to open. We got regular signing day coming. We got another portal opening during the springtime, sometime after everybody's spring practices. A lot of these teams are trying to find coaches as well. We'll talk about that some in the next segment. So it's a lot of stuff. We are not writing this in pen, Mike.
Okay, it's
this
not
is
in black and white.
permanent marker.
Okay.
We are writing this in the faintest of pencils. We got erasers so we can erase and adjust. But right now, if I said, hey, Mike, top 3 teams going into 2026, you would say who?
Ooh, top 3 teams going into 2026. Obviously, the defending champ, Chennisberry, because he'll reload. South Carolina State will be right there, reloaded and ready. Just because of the history and what Jackson State has. They got a freshman quarterback ready to take over for Jacoby and Morgan, who's already done that this season. So South Carolina State 1, Jackson State 2, and then you would probably it's a toss-up from there, from 3, because everybody else is impacted by coaching and transfer portals and all of those things.
I think I'd go, yes, your top 2, Mike. And like you said, that 3rd spot would be a toss-up. And I'll go, got to go with somebody I can trust. And it's between Coach Jackson and Coach Robinson for me. And I think I will lean closer to Coach Jackson's side of things. So I will go.
Oh, you know what? I would go like to your point there. Since we're going to give 3, I would go, like I said, South Carolina State, Jackson State, and you always know North Carolina Central is going to be there solid with whoever they.
Coach Oliver is another one.
Yeah,
I'll go Prairie View A&M as my 3rd. Ronnie.
Okay, I'm cool with South Carolina on there.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the stickler. I think Jackson State reign is over. I gotta say that. In pencil. Jackson State. I was rooting for y'all. I was rooting for them throughout the season, but I think their reign is over, so I wouldn't make them my number 2. I'll go back to PV. They had a really great. This was his really great first season with them, like him being head coach.
Coach Jackson.
Coach Jackson being SWAC Coach of the Year. Then he won SWAC championship. I think they're going to be really great next year, especially if they build on top of. I don't think they'll have many losses with graduates or any transfers. So South Carolina, PV.
Got one more. South Carolina State, Prairie View A&M. You say Jackson State's run is over.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Delaware.
Delaware State, the Fighting Kyras.
I'm gonna say the Fighting Kyras. I don't think that this season for them was a fluke. I think a lot of people are gonna think that's what it was. I think they're gonna be really great coming in next year. So that'll be my top 3.
All right.
I'm scared.
Don't hold us to any of this.
I'm scared.
It's so much stuff that's left to
New Year's is coming. The transfer portal is like.
You can stop shaking, Ronnie.
I'm shaking.
There's no reason for it. Like we said, it's in pencil.
Okay.
We said we just throwing it out there. We're just throwing it out there. Again, you got the next big thing in the college football cycle is the transfer portal opening January 2nd. It closes January 16th. And so that'll be the next big thing. And then sometime in February, you'll get the national signing day. And then you'll get the spring practices, and we'll learn a little bit more. And then after spring practices in, sometime in March or April, the second portal opens for a week. And then you'll see who's in and who's out. And then we'll have a bit better of an idea. So come summertime at SWAC Media Day, we'll know who we believe to be the top teams, the top contenders in both the SWAC, the MEAC, SEAC, CIAA, and all over black college football. Before we continue with the show, we do want to take a minute to honor the memory of a truly remarkable student and a member of the JSU family, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those remarkable seasons for the HBCU Huddle. We had a chance this season to partner with Jackson State University to broadcast the HBCU Huddle across their media market channels. In Jackson, we're going to be adding some more markets in the future. But one of the dedications for this season was Isiah Wilson, a young man who's a rising senior at Jackson State who passed away over the summer. He was part of our externship program when Jackson State came up to visit us and shadow our guys for a Grizzlies game. Jackson State University unveiled a memorial portrait and wing of their student media center to Isiah Wilson, Central Mississippi native who passed away over the summer through a health complication. That's him right there on our pregame set of the warm-up show, speaking with Lang Whitaker. He took my seat and told me he was going to make it pop, and he certainly made it pop right there as you look at Isiah. So I had a chance. I was invited down to the memorial last month during the Thanksgiving holiday break, and I had a chance to speak to that group right there yet again who came up last spring to visit us at FedEx Forum. So, best wishes. I spoke with Isiah's mom, his dad, his grandmother, and they're just remarkable people who lost a young man way too soon. Jackson State has set up a scholarship in Isiah's memory, and I just wanted to, on behalf of Grind City Media and the HBCU Huddle, give one last dedication and shout out to Isiah Wilson. His legacy and his memory will live on into eternity down there at Jackson State and with us at Grind City Media.
Absolutely, absolutely well said. We've got some coaching news to get to on the side, plus our pick sixes right here on HBCU Huddle in the Built Ford Tough studio on Grind City Media.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go! Tell me about being a rookie in the NBA. What has that been like so far?
The coolest part is, having a class with you they're all rookies. So if you go to an NBA game, you kind of know a lot of the guys that are rookies there because you went through that process of draft workouts, playing against them in college and stuff. So I think it's cool to have that camaraderie.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Do you feel like you have had a matchup or an opponent or a moment where you're like, oh, I'm in the NBA now?
When we played the Warriors and Steph on the left wing hit like a step back three, like right in my face. Like, I remember watching this on TV and I'm the one getting scored on.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
These games just come one after another, and it can be difficult to pull yourself out of a bad stretch. How were you guys able to do that? Because not only have you done it, but your team has done it as well.
Yeah, we have some great leaders. Ja, Jaren, even Cedric as a rookie, he's very vocal. And then obviously the coaching staff, Tomas. So I think it starts with just the great leaders we have.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour.
Welcome back. Kyle Black. Help your boy out. Wait. Mike, Ronnie, CJ, Black. When's the Boys for Life tour? Because we got to do a pick six about Bow Wow B2K. Oh my goodness. So excited. Yeah, figure that out for me. Mike, favorite Bow Wow song? Pin them on the spot. Fresh as I'm is.
Yeah.
Why do you take my song?
That's a good song.
It is a good song. It ain't that many Bow Wow songs that I know now.
Right.
But like you with Sierra, I ain't gonna lie.
Tell me all the things that you
And
just told me in a special way I feel. When you hold me, we always be together, baby. That's what you told me, and I believe it.
Because I ain't never had nobody do it like you.
Good song.
Ooh, that was it right there.
Yeah, that's it. Welcome back in. A lot of great concerts coming to FedEx Forum. Go get your Grizzlies tickets as well. Grizzlies are in the midst of a pretty good streak. What, Mike? Like 7-2 last night, 7-3.
Yeah, 8-3. 8-3 in their last 11.
8-3 their last 11. So want to be out here. See John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey, all of the crew out here and at FedEx Forum. We are going to pivot some and talk about some coaching news. Mm-hmm. Part of the thing that makes it so difficult to do a way too early prediction about the 2026 season is, like, for some of these schools, we don't know who's going to be the coach. Howard is one of those schools. Larry Scott is out 23-37 all time at Howard. He has a 12-15 MEAC record, a couple of 4-1 conference seasons, one of those seasons resulting in Howard getting to a Celebration Bowl, making a Celebration Bowl appearance. He's going to Auburn to be the tight ends coach. Mike, when you saw this, what did you think?
I was a little disappointed, you know what I mean, because you're giving up a head coaching job at a growing HBCU, one that you lifted up to championship contender in that MEAC last year, and then you're going to go be a position coach. I get it. You got bigger aspirations. But at a time when so many high-profile coaches or high-profile former players are becoming head coaches in HBCUs, you're seeing head coaches not value those same positions as much. for their personal reasons. So I get it. You do what you need to do. But it was a little disappointing because I felt like Howard took a step back this year, and maybe Coach Scott maybe saw the limitations of resources and all those things. But kudos to him. Hope he does well. Howard did the classy thing, wishing him well, and now they have to fill that vacancy, and we'll see what the next high-profile player or former player is, whether they're going to be interested in that position.
We talked last week, maybe 2 weeks ago? I can't remember, Mike. We talked so very, very, very much about how some of these FBS programs should be looking at the FCS for quality coaches. And the example that got brought up, Willie Simmons, particularly HBCUs, Willie Simmons did something similar to this, where he was at FAM, and FAM beat Coach Scott's Howard team for the Celebration Bowl. If I remember correctly, he's fresh off of a Celebration Bowl when FAMU had been to the postseason a couple of times as well in the Willie Simmons era, and he left there to be running backs coach at Duke, and then he parlayed that the next year into the head coaching opportunity at Florida International. Is this still the way to go about doing it, unfortunately, for HBCU coaches who have FBS-type aspirations, where you say, okay, I've done all I can do here, I guess I got to go take this position job, and then from there I'll be able to potentially find a way to become an FBS coordinator or FBS head coach?
That's certainly probably the most reliable and trusted way to go about doing it. Larry Scott has been through high-level college football as an assistant before. He's had connections, and you have to build those resources, and you have to have relationships with guys in the Power 4 programs and those kind of things, so you can have that intermediary step in order to get your own from that standpoint, whether it's a high-profile FBS coordinator or head coach at one level or another. But yeah, it's just tough to see. It's tough to continue to see, our HBCU prominent head, like Howard is in a major market in Washington, D.C. So, it's going to be an opportunity that opens up and gives another guy a shot. But yeah, that's certainly one path, CJ. You're right.
Yeah, Coach Scott, to your point, Tennessee offensive coordinator, I do believe in 2017. He was. This is it. This will be his return to Auburn. He was there for a period of time, so he's got coordinator and position coach on his resume at the FBS level. So here's hoping that maybe he can parlay this thing at Auburn into a head coaching job in 2027. Other coaching news: Quinn Gray Sr. is going back home to FAMU. Ronnie. He's leaving Albany State, going back to FAMU. Had a lengthy post thanking the fine folks at Albany State. Shout out to the Rams for all that they did this season. 12-2 this season, historic run for Albany State. When you saw this, Ronnie, what did you think? You think this is going to be a good fit at FAM?
I just hope when Valley play FAM next year, he don't break that streak we got going on. I ain't lying. That's the only thing I'm scared of, because he really did an amazing job down there with the Rams at Albany. But FAMU got a lot of money. I think him going back home, I think that'll be great for FAMU in general overall. But God, please don't end our streak. We 2 years in, beat FAMU Valley. Come on now.
Mike, you know Coach Gray personally. You got a relationship with him from when he was a player. You excited about this?
I am, man. Like I
look how hard. Mike ain't smiled like that in a minute, man. Look at all. You see,
a proud brother.
I feel like that's one of my sons, man. You know what I'm saying? When he realizes his dream like that, I know he was just he always carried himself, even as a player, from redshirt sophomore year all the way through senior. He carried himself like he was 35 years old. Like he was always mature. He was always in the film room. He was a coach in waiting, and he just so happened to have a cannon for an arm, so he was able to get to the NFL. I love this opportunity for him, and I think this is just scratching the surface, because I see him as a Power 4 head coach, and I think this is going to be one level, but I think he's going to do well and continue to elevate as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Wishing him all the best, except for Ronnie when they play Valley.
That's the only time. That's the only time.
Got to get to work. And we think he's got his quarterback. We'll know more January 2nd when the portal opens up and you can start allowing transfers in. Speaking of transfers and portals, sad news for Alabama State. They hate to see it happen to him. Andrew Body.
How you feeling? CJ, are you okay?
I'm fine. Listen.
Are you okay? That's your guy.
That is my guy.
That's your guy.
That is my guy. And I cheer for him as my guy at Alabama State. But don't get it twisted. Tuskegee is my alma mater.
Yeah.
So all the bad things to Alabama State, man. Wish them nothing but bad.
But that's it. That's it for Alabama State.
Nothing but the very, 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 very worst.
You cut ties with Alabama State.
But no, seriously, man. Andrew Body will probably be Black College Football Player of the Year this year. And I know he missed, 2 or 3 games there down the stretch. I guess 2 games. He played 10, missed the last 2 down the stretch there. But he had a phenomenal year. Keep going back to the way that the season started. Alabama State almost knocked off UAB in a game where he had, I do believe, around 500 yards of total offense and like 5 touchdowns or something ridiculous like that. And that's FCS going up and playing at FBS school. The way that he played in the Jackson State loss, like he lights out in that game as well and was incredible the entirety of the season on his way to being SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. This is a big loss for Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. Wish Andrew Body all the best. Somebody who battled injuries the entirety of his collegiate career, had its first truly healthy season, maybe since that first year in college. So here he is. Reaping the benefits of being incredible at football. I'm thinking he's got to be going FBS, don't you, Mike? Like there's no reason for him to go FCS to FCS here. He's got to be going FCS to FBS.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, I think, 1 year of eligibility to go cash in, and you certainly have opportunities, and I would believe so too. I know you texted that CJ in our group chat, that he has to be elevating from that standpoint. So this is a money payday, because just a couple of weeks ago, he did put out a video saying how much he was looking forward to 1 more year at Alabama State and getting to that championship that they felt like they had slipped through their fingers and came up 2 yards short of beating Jackson State. So for him to go from that 2 weeks ago to I'm out of this joint and 2 weeks later, then there's a big time payday coming for him to NIL to get his way up, maybe another level right there.
Do you think he taking a risk entering in the transfer portal, and going, if he was to go into a FBS school and they already got their quarterbacks established, and him going in, he might end up being second or third string quarterback? Is it worth the risk of leaving the team that you helped build and help win? Is it worth it?
I'm sure he's got to know where he's going. People, if you hop in this early, it's because you know. By hopping, I mean you decide, I'm transferring, I'm entering the portal. You've probably had conversations with coaching staffs who've made assurances, and you like what your chances are, and you like what your odds are. But even still, even if that's not the case, he wants to go out there and compete for one of those positions. We talked about it with Coach Scott. We talk about it from the coaching side of things all of the time, where it is, hey, we want to recognize these great coaches, Coach Shannis Berry and T.C. Taylor and others, and the way you recognize them is by elevating them to more premier programs from FCS to the FBS. As a player, you want that as well. You only got 4 years, 5 years of undergrad, of college eligibility. In his case, because of special circumstances, he got 6, I think, injuries, redshirt years, that type of thing, redshirt years because of injuries, that type of stuff. So you want a chance to go out there and do that. This is your last go at it. This is your last try at this college thing. I understand being willing to forego something that in Alabama State for the risk of something that you don't know, which might be a FBS program. He said in the statement, one of the things he said is, quote, "I'm deeply grateful to Coach Eddie Robinson for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to attend his alma mater, an experience that shaped me both on and off the field and helped prepare me." So he went out the right way. Alabama State did a great job. Coach Eddie Robinson did a great job of recognizing the talent and luring him away from SWAC rivals a couple of years back. So hats off to him. Congratulations. Not Coach Andrew Body, not yet. Andrew Body might be my Quinn Gray, Mike.
No.
Are you ready for that? We be sitting here 10,
Full
15
circle
years down the line
moment.
Andrew Body. Which player Andrew Body, star quarterback Andrew Body, all the best going forward. All right, last segment on the other side, we're going to talk about our pick sixes. And they are things storylines we're most looking forward to ahead of the 2026 college football season right here on HBCU Huddle in the Built Ford Tough studio on Grind City Media.
Michaelese, it's Gary Parrish, and I think I owe you a congratulations. Do I have this right? Another hole-in-one for you?
Yeah, I was playing by myself. Hit the green, it went in, and I looked dejected because there was no one there to witness it with me.
It would be very inexpensive for like every par 3 at a nice golf course to have a camera set up at the tee box.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. NBA released its new All-Star format. It's USA versus the world, which sounds a little scary for USA.
You very clearly aren't proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I'll get a triple-double from LeBron and a big-time 3 from Steph Curry, and I'll gladly stand up.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Look who it is, Brooks Monahan's here. Undefeated 16-0-3, and now heading into the NCAA tournament undefeated.
I couldn't be prouder of the kids, but if you would have asked me, if we would have been sitting here back in the summer before we started, and you would have said, you're going to go 16-0-3, I would have thought you were, I would have told you were crazy.
You thought this was a rebuild year.
Yeah, I hate using the word rebuild, but yes.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Nate Bargatze. Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze. Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Mike, CJ, Ronnie, Kyra's downstairs. We got a great pick six for you this week. Things we most look forward to ahead of the 2026 HBCU football season. Ronnie, what you got?
Starting at number 6, the transfer portal. It's already getting a little shaky. It's already getting shaky. So I am shaking in my boots about that. I want to know, where in the SWAC is people going? Where in the MEAC? Is people moving up? Is people moving down? Where are the kids going? Number 5, who will Mike Vick recruit? Mike Vick, you had a not so good season, a not so good, not so great, terrible season. But it's your chance to build. It's your chance to build, and you're my favorite coach of this season. So I look forward to see what he's doing during the off season. Number 4. Will PV return to the Celebration Bowl? Will they be able to do what they did this year? I look forward, like they was in my top 3 again earlier in the show. I said that I look forward to seeing them. And number 3, will ASU take over the East Division? That was before I knew Andrew Body was getting in the transfer portal. Y'all, this question was put in before. I really think like 30 minutes before I sent the text to Andrew. Like I'm upset about that I put this question up there, because what are they going to do about a quarterback position? But I look forward to seeing who they bring in. Dang, he messed me. That transfer portal messed people up right there. Number 2, how does JSU bounce back? Like I said, I think their reign is over, but I'm going to be real. I don't think they reign a comeback. I hope Valley take over, honestly. If you want me to be real about it. Y'all want me to be real? Y'all want me to be real?
We couldn't stop you from being real if we tried.
Exactly. So, whatever. JSU, whatever. Anyway, number 1, HBCU players in the NFL draft. I'm wishing them all the best of luck. I know we're getting a lot of notoriety within these, the SWAC having SWAC TV. We're getting a lot of viewership and things like that. But I actually want to see those players in the NFL draft this season.
All right. That's a good list. I think all of us will, Mike and myself included, we will have something similar to your list. Mike, what's yours to look like?
Yeah, my number 6 coming off the top right there is off-season coaching changes.
Been a lot of those
right now. Yeah, taking shape already. I think there's going to be more. HBCU football usually takes this way into the spring. There are coaches that don't arrive in Reggie Barlow's case at Tennessee State until right around spring football, or maybe even after that. So the trickle-down effect from the bigger schools losing coaches and replacing them, and HBCU coaches moving on as the way the Howard did with Howard's coach Larry Scott did, is always going to keep that the coaching carousel spinning right there. Number 5 for me is how HBCU players will fare in this year's NFL draft. We've hit a down cycle a little bit over the last few years, and I think that's going to start turning around because of so many breakout candidates at so many different positions, particularly on the offensive and defensive line. I think this is going to be a big time NFL draft for HBCU football players. Number 4 was Delaware State's turnaround a fluke. Now, Deshaun Jackson's name has come up and will come up in some other coaching situations there too. Was this a one and done for him? Is he going to come back? Can he restock that program to do something more magical and build on what he did this year? Number 3 is will Quinn Gray, my guy, will Quinn Gray resurrect his alma mater at Florida A&M? I saw him do it. I saw him lead that program to the highest of the heights that they've had in the modern football era as a quarterback, and I want to see him do it again as a coach. Number 2, can Jackson State reload again? CJ and I talked about this a couple seasons ago on HBCU Huddle, where I had TC Taylor on the hot seat in year 2. And he ended up going and winning the HBCU championship. Now they didn't win it. I think they kind of got fat and lazy towards the end down the stretch. It really wasn't a smooth season for him. Can he tighten up the ship, tighten up the reins, and get him back again? I think he will. And number 1, locally for us here in Memphis, the immediate future of the Southern Heritage Classic. Where will that game go? What teams will be in it next year? Can it be resurrected? And we'll see what happens with, obviously Mr. Jones and all the fantastic work he's done for 35 plus years of putting that classic together in Memphis. What does the future hold for the Southern Heritage Classic?
Tremendous list, Mike. Here go mine. Things I'm most looking forward to ahead of the 2026 season. Albany State's coaching hire. 4 of the last 5 SEAC champions have been from either Benedict or Albany State. 17 SEAC titles going back to 1984. That's about 40-ish years. Only once since 2009 has Albany State not finished in the top 3 in that conference, right? So Albany State is a powerhouse in the SEAC. They got to get this coaching hire right as Coach Quinn Gray exits for his alma mater at FAMU. Number 5 for me, Mike Vick's all-season moves. They didn't win a single game in the MEAC. They were 1-11 this season. He's got to make some big-time moves here if they're going to compete in the MEAC. HBCU players in the NFL draft. Number 4 for me, Kelby Givens, Eric Hunter, Mike Lunds, the second out of South Carolina State. I think those are the 3 best prospects. I would love to hear all 3 of their names called, plus some, on NFL Draft Day coming up in April. Number 3 for me, what's the quarterback situation at South Carolina State going to look like? Stubfield is gone. Atkins the 4th gone. Atkins was a second-team All-MEAC selection. Stubfield had that big-time completion. If they're going to continue to contend, they are going to need a quarterback, and let's see what that looks like. Number 2 for me, Quinn Gray's first spring back at Prairie View A&M. And number 1 for me, Jared Lockhart's development star freshman quarterback out of Jackson, Mississippi. If he hits, TC Taylor hits on him, Jackson State could be poised for another season, Mike, where they are at the top of the SWAC. That does it for this week. Thank you guys for hanging out with us so very much. We'll talk to you again real soon. It won't be real soon. We're off 2 weeks.
Oh.
We're off 2 weeks. We got a winter hiatus. So we're off next week and the following week. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more HBCU news right here on HBCU Huddle.